Are you thinking about applying for the New Zealand Pacific Fund for 2022? Come along with us as we speak to a few of the recipients of this year's Pacific Fund to see what they found so appealing about the fund and what they'll be doing with their funding. First off, we have Hervé and Marwan. Hervé is the Research Director at the Centre of National Research in France. He now works as a visiting researcher at the University of Canterbury alongside Marwan.
My work, my research focuses especially in local climatology, in climate change context.
Marwan is one of the climate scientists and lecturers here at UC in the School of Earth and Environment.
I come from a background of both measurements and modeling. I like to understand the physical environment from a measurement perspective, but also numerically simulate the processes that we understand from the measurements.
Now let's hear about Hervé and Marwan's project. Their project is attempting to create an adaptive scenario of the New Caledonian agri-system to climate change.
The objective of this project is to build adaptive scenario for the future for several types of crops, for example, avocado or lychees.
The Pacific Fund can allow you to have a really significant impact. Let's hear how Hervé and Marwan think their project could affect New Caledonia.
So I think this project really allows us to look at a specific region that has meaning and has economic importance for the local people in New Caledonia, but also allows us to work with model outputs, so climate projections and data. So it's the science becomes really highly have a high impact because you're actually working on something that is useful for someone growing something, right?
Yeah. We also spoke to Matiu Prebble, who is one of the research fellows in the School of Earth and Environment here at UC.
My research area is broad, but largely what I'm interested in is past environments and how we understand them.
Now, the Pacific Fund may not be the highest monetary value fund going around these days. However, there are a number of unique benefits to this type of fund. First, let's hear what Matiu had to say.
One thing I really like about the Pacific Fund is often in the research environment, you either have to develop projects which are huge and bold and basically solve all of the universe's problems in one go, or you can go for projects which are concise, well-funded, but the actual outcomes can often be great, and that's the size of the Pacific Fund.
I think I just want to thank the Pacific Fund for this, but also definitely we need more little opportunities like this where they can fund collaboration and travel. I mean, often you'll find scientists don't need a lot of money to do work. They need opportunities, and small opportunities can go a long way. So here, the $1 million sort of science proposal example that is not really useful in that context. There's $1 million advantages in a different way with this type of fund.
Evidently, these researchers are really looking forward to getting started with their projects. Let's hear what Hervé and Marwan have to say to anyone considering applying for the Pacific Fund.
I think people should apply for any funding if they think they can make a difference.
Yeah.
I think it really relates to the passion about science and the positive about delivering an output. I think this specific, from my experience, is partnering with colleagues like Hervé, who has really good sort of background in the sort of French science system front, and then sort of working with agronomists like Hervé and me. So that multidisciplinary approach really makes it. If you think you have good contacts and you're working across disciplines, this is a really good fund for that.
And there we have it. The Pacific Fund is a terrific opportunity for researchers and scientists alike. If you think you have what it takes and want to apply, please head over to our Facebook page, NZ Pacific Fund 2022, for more details. Thank you for watching, and au revoir.